Can you believe it's been 10 years since John Wick first stormed into our lives? 4 movies, countless fight scenes, and all of it sparked by a puppy? Ever wonder why dogs became the emotional core of the entire franchise?
How's it going, man?
What insane stunts did Keanu Reeves insist on doing himself?
Everything that I can't do brings the vision down.
And what's the hidden reason behind Wicks's sleek, all-black suits? Buckle up, because we're about to reveal secrets even the biggest fans might have missed.
Yes! Bring it!
Keanu Almighty. The actor's preparation for the John Wick series is nothing short of legendary. To bring the iconic assassin to life, he dived into a mix of martial arts, gun training, and hardcore workouts.
John Wick was judo and jujitsu and a lot more gun manipulation, and there was lots and lots and lots and lots.
And nothing can stop him. Do you remember the nightclub scene from the first movie? Well, Reeves was really sick while filming that.
He actually had the flu and about a 103-degree fever. He had it rough, all the days to be ill.
With a fever and feeling under the weather, Keanu still learned the entire sequence that same day and nailed it without missing a beat.
I applaud him for being able to, continue to work in the action genre as hard as he does. Keanu's physicality in these movies is staggering.
In John Wick Chapter 2, there's another epic moment where Reeves spins a car in a tight circle while simultaneously firing a gun out the window. Remarkably, he performed this scene himself after months of stunt driving training.
He's an active part of the choreography team. He spent more hours with the choreography teams than, I would say, 90% of stunt performers out there.
In fact, Reeves does about 90% of his own stunts. He typically begins training 4 to 5 months before filming, dedicating 4 to 6 hours a day to learn from real professionals.
The training went longer than 3 months, and it was 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. So it was a 2-hour morning session, lunch, 2-hour afternoon session.
At over 50, his dedication to running, jumping, and tumbling is pretty impressive, right? Fight like you are dancing. The fights in the John Wick series are often compared to beautifully choreographed dance sequences. Did you catch it? Well, director Chad Stahelski really emphasizes this approach. He once said, "It's like a ballet with bullets." Reeves truly gets into this mindset during his training, explaining, "I try to think of it as a dance. You have to feel the rhythm of the choreography." One of the most unique scenes takes place in a knife museum in Chapter 3, where John engages in a brutal fight involving axes and knives. His movements are fast, fluid, and carefully timed. By the way, don't you feel like dancing after that? Or take, for instance, the iconic staircase fight scene in Chapter 4, set in Paris. The process was so intense that it took more than 10 days to shoot. As you can imagine, this movie relies on minimal CGI.
There's no sort of okay, we'll shoot you again, it's a green screen, and pretend that you were in Paris. We're actually taking them to all these places, which is, I think, what makes John Wick so real.
Every punch and every reload is calculated down to the last detail. Even the shots made by Wick's enemies are factored into the choreography. This precision only slipped once, during the catacombs scene in the second film. Baba Yaga uses a Benelli shotgun that holds only 8 rounds, but in the heat of battle, he somehow fires it 11 times without reloading. A bit of Hollywood magic, maybe? Not a single chapter without dogs. Dogs have always been a key part of Wick's story from the very start.
It's incredible. I got to work with a puppy who is the ultimate scene stealer. You can't do scenes without a dog because they will steal every scene.
The whole revenge journey kicks off with the heartbreaking death of his puppy, Daisy. The creators were initially concerned that this plot twist might upset viewers, but test screening showed it was the perfect way to bring John out of retirement. By Chapter 3, dogs became even more crucial to the storyline. Halle Berry's character, Sophia, and her 2 Belgian Malinois truly stole the spotlight. Fans even created the term dog foo for the way the dogs seamlessly fought alongside the actors. It's impressive that these 2 pups were trained for months to pull off some amazing stunts, and they only respond to Barry's commands.
So I get a certain amount of time to just love on them and play with them, and then I have another set of time where I work with training them.
In fact, they bonded so well with Barry that the crew joked she'd become a real dog trainer. Keanu Reeves is also known as an animal lover.
Cute you are. You're like a cutie pie.
In between takes, you couldn't pull him away from the four-legged ones. Just one question. How does the actor not have a dog of his own yet? Inspiration from the past. Did you know that the movie takes a lot of influence from classic hits of the 1960s?
You know, John Wick has elements of things in it that I grew up watching. It has a sensibility of a Western, of a samurai movie, of a wuxia kung fu film. It has an underworld side. It has mythology. It's got car chases. We took movies that we liked and we infused them into this movie.
If you've seen Point Blank, it's hard to miss the connection. Wick mirrors Lee Marvin's character, Walker, who embarks on a relentless quest for revenge. Both are methodical and unstoppable in their pursuit, driven by personal loss and betrayal. As for the good, the bad, and the ugly, the directors took inspiration from its minimalist storytelling. Much like Clint Eastwood's character in the Western, John's backstory isn't completely fleshed out, leaving room for mystery and intrigue.
I try to rip off from the best.
And that's not all. In Chapter 4, Scott Adkins' character Killa was directly inspired by classic villains, particularly from the James Bond franchise. Adkins wore a 100-pound fat suit to transform into this flamboyant yet menacing figure. And Killa's showdown with Wick in a nightclub is yet another nod to the stylish action sequences of older films.
It was just incredibly impressive. And to think, this is my set, this is Killa's set.
Oh, and we definitely need to talk about the characters' looks separately. More than just fashion. In fact, John's suit is a key part of who he is and the world he lives in. Unlike action heroes from the past, like Stallone or Willis, who usually wore rough, worn-out clothes, John Wick brings a touch of sophistication to the table.
We have amazing thespians and costume design.
The attention to detail in his wardrobe is mind-blowing. A whole team, led by Luka Mosca, works hard to create dozens of suits for Keanu, sometimes as many as 50 different looks per film.
John Wick doesn't know he's in a movie. John Wick believes he is John Wick, and Keanu puts on the suit, he believes he is that guy. Like, that's the anchor.
Each suit is designed to be action-ready, with special padding, to keep Keanu safe during stunts and fabric that can get drenched without looking wrecked. Plus, the suits have subtle details that hint at John's rise in the criminal underworld. For instance, in Chapter 2, sharp-eyed viewers might catch the bright red cufflinks, symbolizing his deeper ties to that dangerous world. Lawrence Fishburne's character, the Bowery King, wears garments inspired by Japanese kimonos, while Halle Berry's character, Sophia, is dressed in Moroccan-style attire with luxurious fabrics. So, it's clear that every costume is carefully crafted to reflect the characters' backgrounds and their roles in the Wick universe. Fewer words, more punches. In Chapter 4, Reeves really nails that silent but deadly vibe, speaking even less than in previous films.
He said something really kind of telling to me. He said, I haven't spoken in like 15 weeks.
After saying just the phrase, "give me a name," he enters into an epic 8-minute fight. In fact, about a third of all the John's lines are a single word. Director Chad Stahelski revealed that Keanu personally cut about half of them originally written for his character. In some cases, he handed most of his dialogue to other characters. In a scene where Wick negotiates a duel with the Marquis de Gramont, it was reduced to just 2 words: pistols and no mercy. Just to compare, in the first John Wick film, Reeves delivered 484 words in 101 minutes. By Chapter 4, which is 169 minutes long, Wick says just 380 words. Interestingly, about 10% of them appear in the trailer, where he actually seems more talkative than in the film itself. One of the best examples of his minimal speech is his longest line. "You and I left the good life a long time ago, my friend." Short, impactful, and perfectly suited to the character. Do you agree? And here's one more intriguing fact. Keanu earned $15 million for John Wick 4, meaning he made approximately $39,000 for every word he spoke in the movie. However, it's been said that he's definitely not in it just for the money. Match made in action heaven. Despite being a huge Hollywood star, Reeves reportedly took a pay cut for this film. He truly believed in the project and wanted to support the director's vision, even if it meant earning less.
No, it's gonna make me cry.
Or, maybe, Reeves has expressed deep gratitude for the franchise because it gave him a second wind in his career. By the early 2000s and 10s, Keanu had hit a bit of a slump. After the massive success of the Matrix trilogy, he faced a series of box office disappointments that left many wondering if his time as a leading man was over. Then, in 2014, John Wick came out of nowhere and changed everything, re-establishing him as one of the top action stars in the industry. Keanu's comeback wasn't just a win for him, but a reminder that in the right role, he could still command the screen like no other.
It's been really special to be here. So happy to meet so many great people and artists, and so thank you for all.
And the 10-year journey of John Wick is far from over.
It's just been a great 10 years. Of every 2 years, they come up with another, story, and the story expands. But the world becomes bigger, but the films become more elegant, and they're more beautiful, and they're better.
After all, each movie has made significantly more money than the last. The first John Wick earned $43 million in the US, while Chapter 4 pulled in over $350 million. Wow, what a result. No wonder they're expanding the Wick universe. A spin-off called Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas, is on its way. And yes, Keanu Reeves has confirmed he'll make a cameo appearance. This story is only getting bigger and better. Are you excited for the new installment? Let us know in the comments.